guys, I hope the aerial intro was pretty cool. Well, look, we've got progress. Let me spin you around. Well, there you go. Basically what you're seeing right here is it's trenched and we've got the form boards up. So this is a lot of really good progress. You've got your level lines in. You probably can't see them. It's that little pink line. But they've got the form boards nice and level. They've got these deep trenches dug. Now they got to clean them out with a shovel. They'll make it all pretty. That's going to be the deepest part of your foundation. Let me get my finger in there. This right here is going to have the most concrete in it, and it's going to be a huge column of concrete. You're going to have these cables that are wrapped in a polymer. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're pink or red, and they run in a crisscross pattern. They run this way, and then they run this way. And when your concrete's poured, they're buried in the middle of it, and then they're put under like 20 or 30,000 pounds of pressure. And that is squeezing your concrete together from different directions, making it super, super strong, and it resists cracking or floating. It just kind of squeezes it together like a vise. Now, what you're gonna see next is they're gonna come out here and they're gonna get the water lines, the sewer lines, the electrical lines, the gas lines, and all of that stuff is gonna get buried down in here. The other thing to keep in mind is they're gonna have a polymer membrane that looks like a super thick trash bag, basically, and it's black, that goes down over all this, and it's designed to keep the water that's gonna be in the ground from getting into your foundation. That's super important. All right, and then once that's called a moisture barrier, once that moisture barrier is in the ground, then you're gonna see them being pretty much ready to get the inspector out here for the town. And then they're gonna validate that all the work was done according to code, nothing was missed, and everything is good to go based on your plans and your site plan and all the construction documentation that Southgate's provided. At that point, we should be clear to pour cement, and that's an exciting day. They have a massive pumper truck that will come into the cul-de-sac, and this huge arm goes up and can stick down over here inside the foundation boards, and then cement mixers back up to it. And then the pumper truck pumps the cement. Of course, sounds logical, right? Because that's its name. It pumps the cement from the cement mixers up that pipe and into here. And there's gonna be a bunch of fellas with long rakes, and they usually wear white boots. I don't know why. I've mentioned that before in videos, but the white boots crack me up. I don't know where those come from. And they rake your cement flat and level, and they get the air bubbles out of it, and they make sure that the integrity for the cement is there. And then you're gonna have a foundation. One thing I'll warn you, they have a winter mix and a summer mix for foundation for concrete. And sometimes you'll get small little fissure cracks or spider cracks. They're only on the surface. So if you see those, don't let them freak you out. Those sometimes are normal just based on conditions. And once they put pressure on these cables, they disappear. A lot of times you'll never even see those show up based on how they're pouring the concrete, what kind of concrete mix it is, what's the temp, what's the humidity. A lot of times it's just a perfectly smooth surface, but they can make them go away. I just always say it because sometimes people freak out when they see them, especially if they're not aware that that can happen. And I think the rule is if you can either fit a dime or a nickel in it, then we might have someone look at it. But normally those little cracks only exist in the top inch of the concrete, if that. Yeah, so I think that's worth mentioning just to prepare yourself. So I don't anticipate we'll see those, but if we do, don't freak out. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, no, that's where we're at right now. They've got to get the plumbing, the infrastructure in for the gas, the water, the plumbing, so on and so forth. They got to get all that insulated. They got to get the moisture barrier in there. They got to get the cables in there. You'll see rebar go in there in certain areas. They'll tie into the sewer main, which will be a big hole right over here. Where's my hand? Woo! Right over here where it ties into the main in the street. And get that inspection, then we can off and pour cement. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great holiday. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and Santa's good to you. And if you have any questions or concerns, give me a call as always. Until then, we'll see you next week.